So I had somebody ask me, how do I draw in other people's styles? So the basic thing that you want to do is what I'm doing right now, which is going to be basically making simple shapes of their style. So as you can see, Daffy's top of the head is a triangle. You got a triangle whenever it comes to the beak. It's just breaking it down into its simple shapes, and I don't know how to spell break, but don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. And then I go in with ovals. I normally do a lot of my layouts in ovals. You can do it in triangles or squares. I normally do it in ovals because it's basically breaking it down to its simple shapes. And then from there, I'm putting the reference to the side, and now I'm going in and basically blocking in where it is going to be. So being more, accurate whenever it comes to my sketch. So basically, how I'm showing these parts is that I'm going with the basic shapes. And if you need to really break it down, just go ahead and really break it down. And this is doing it free-handed. Now, technically speaking, when I started, I did a lot of drawings whenever it comes to actually tracing and everything like that, just to get the feel of it. Now, I didn't turn around and say, oh, this is my work, because, yeah, I didn't do it free-handed. I traced it all. Now, whenever it comes to that, I mean, do whatever you want with that. That's perfectly fine. But as long as you're using it to learn, then it should be a-okay. Now, right here, I am blocking in whenever it comes to the eyes, more along the lines of getting the actual expression down, because that's the hardest part, is getting the actual expression down. And from my sketch, I strictly go straight into inking. Like, I didn't even take a pause. So I did have my stabilizer tool turned up all the way. In Clipsio Paint, it does have a stabilizer tool. If your program does not have a stabilizer tool, it is perfectly fine. You can probably find Lazy Mezumi is one that you can use on the computer. Whenever it comes to the iPad, I have no clue. So good luck with that one. I know Procreate, Clipsio Paint, Medibang, all of them have stabilizers. Photoshop does not. And I don't think Illustrator does either. But I'm going with an average of where my lines are. I'm not being too exact because this is just a quick example. Because I think the whole entire time frame that this took me was about 9 minutes. I sped this up times 2, so now it's going for about 5 minutes. But now I'm not focusing too hard on the actual line widths. If you're really trying to mimic someone's style, really pay attention to their line widths. Because whenever it comes to line widths, that actually is a telltale sign of different people's art styles. Now I'm going for the neck. That's easy, that's simple, don't worry about it. And now that I got the inking done, it's not exactly the same as his. Now, whenever it comes to Daphne on the left, his eyes are a little bit more elongated, and the bill is a little bit smaller. If I was going to go back and redo this, I would definitely tweak that and all that fun jazz. But I was more along the lines of going for speed rather than too much accuracy. Now, this I did a paint tool. Well, not the paint tool. It's Magic Wand. Select everything, and then inverse it, and do the base color. Make it super easy. Make it super simple. And whenever it comes to that, I mean, it just makes it so that it's easier to paint quickly and laying down base colors. Also have the expand on mine up to 5 on Clipsio Paint. So it goes into the actual black line rather than sitting right on the edge or stuff like that, because I'm using raster images rather than vector. There we go. Base colors are basically done. I think all I did was put a little highlight in his eyes, just for funsies. And then I know that whenever it comes to Daffy Duck, they always like to do gray so that you can actually see the line. So I just did a clipping layer and put gray over it. But that's basically the gist of mimicking someone's style, is break it down to its simple shapes and go from there. Don't worry, your art style will get into it.